said I'm ready for greatness. I 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 said I'm ready for greatness.
I free souls like the scriptures. I see what they hide. Compassion in my chest, but I never let it slide. I'm the storm and the calm, the truth and the test. Many years of grinding, now I'm showing what comes next. We get it. People look at your smile and assume that you're fine. But sometimes survival, not healing. And success doesn't always mean peace. I'm Big Will, and this is the Big Will Breakdown, a podcast about weight loss, weight gain, healing, hurt, rising again, in real time, unfiltered, unpolished, but always honest. The illusion of fine. We're going to start this journey with the truth. I'm not all the way fine. I still struggle. I still doubt. I still get scared sometimes. Social media makes it so easy to make everything look polished. But behind the post, I've been fighting to come back. This podcast isn't about showing you how perfect I am. It's about letting you into the process of healing, the work of rebuilding, the breakdowns that lead to breakthroughs. In this series, I'm going to share the 5 tools that keep me grounded, that I reach for when I feel like I'm slipping into that spiral again. These 5 things aren't affirmations. They aren't cliches. They are real practices, the same ones people surviving war, famine, loss, and trauma used to rebuild. And I believe they'll work for you too. Because it's not just about weight. It's about worth. It's about will. It's about remembering you're not alone. In the episodes to come, we're going to dive into what happens after weight loss surgery, the emotional recovery from self-inflicted wounds, how to bounce back when your health betrays you, how to rewrite your relationship with food, shame, and self-image. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about perseverance. So if you're on your own healing journey, if you've had setbacks, if you've been called too big, too old, too late, let this show remind you, you are still here, and that means your comeback is still in play. Let's break it down together. You ever had a moment that started off like a dream and then ended with a gut punch? Yeah. This one takes me back to Greektown Casino in Detroit. I was working with this band called the Sun Messengers. I had been with them for 25 years. And during that time, I used to call myself Luther because Luther had lost 100 pounds quite a few times between him and Oprah and gained it all back. I have done that a couple of times with Weight Watchers and things like that. But I still had a great personality and disposition and, zeal to perform. I love to perform and dance and sing and play trumpet. That's my main instrument. And people were always amazed and ask, how could a guy your size move like that? I used to always joke, it's done with mirrors, smoke, and roller skates. But this particular night, it was our last set before a break. I spotted a lady in the crowd. She had a big floppy black hat on, dancing with all this energy. I didn't think much of it at first until I came off stage and somebody said, somebody wants to meet you. That big black hat was flopping towards the stage. And as I was walking down the stairs, she was walking up the stairs to meet me. And then she lifts her head and I saw her face. Toni Basil, I said to her. She smiled, laughed, and we both started singing, oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey, Mickey. And we were dancing and singing like we've known each other forever. She hugged me real tight and said, you were fantastic. And then she said something that hit me right in the feels. I'm working with Bette Midler. Yes, you heard me right. The Miss M. Beaches. Wind Beneath My Wings. Bette Midler. She said she was her choreographer. And Bette was starting this new tour called Kiss My Brass. And they were looking for horn players who can dance. And she said, I think you'd be amazing. Y'all, I was shocked, stunned. Toni Basil, the Toni Basil, was watching me perform and telling me to my face I had what it takes. That was it. You couldn't tell me nothing in that moment. All the years of struggling with my weight, the shame, the back and forth, the health battles, all of it felt worth it. I felt seen. And I couldn't believe it. All the prep we did, I told everybody that I knew I was about to quit the band and go on tour, become famous, and do all this stuff. I had all these great plans, all these visions of touring and getting even more famous after that, and just everything that goes along with a moment like that. Only to get a call a few weeks later from Toni Basil and the music director. Now, God bless them, and let me say this. They were very kind, respectful, even apologetic. They never ghost me. They had to tell me some bad news. They said that management felt that the touring demands, they just couldn't take the risk. And I was, what do you mean risk? They said that they would have to budget in 2 plane tickets, plane fares for every place that we would have to go on that tour because of my size. Now, I hadn't had bariatric surgery or even thought about it at this point. And to get bariatric surgery, this wasn't the main thing or the main reason that I got it. But as I heard this news, I couldn't help but to blame myself. And I even still get emotional thinking about it, even right now, even today. And this happened back in, I would say late 90s, early 2000s. And I still feel the pain even now. I blame myself. I doubted everything. Was I too heavy, too late? Was it too far gone? Did my moment slip through my fingers because of what I did to myself? That rejection stirred up every wound that I thought I had already healed. But it also reminded me of something else. That side of me that said I was worthy. I was just as talented as the people that I admired. It just wasn't my time. And then, a year later, I get another call. This time it's from Bette Midler's team. I wasn't going on a tour, but when they came to Michigan, they asked me to come out to the Palace of Auburn Hills. Now, I've played the Palace for many years as the lead singer and trumpet player of the Sun Messengers, the house band of the Detroit Pistons, for 15 seasons. But this time, I walked into a completely empty arena, 20,000 seats, no crowds, just me and the production crew, and Bette's band. They were on stage warming up. Then all of a sudden, Bette walks out and she looks at me and says, "You must be Big Will. Funny, you don't look so big to me." She smiled and turned to the band and said, "Let's do it." And then she sang Wind Beneath My Wings just for me, one-on-one, in that big old empty room. I wept, I broke down because in that moment, I wasn't too much. I wasn't a cost on a spreadsheet. I was a man with a gift, a man worth the moment. That day taught me something deep. You could take the hit and still get back up. The industry didn't want to carry my weight, but I carried myself. I lost the gig, but I kept the dignity. I didn't stay down. I healed. I acted. I moved. I rebuilt. And you? Yeah, you might not get the yes you expected. You might get judged, dismissed, or overlooked. Well, don't let that no be your final word. You take the hit, but you don't stay down. That's what this podcast is about. That's why this story matters. Because you might be, one rejection away from discovering your own kind of greatness. I'm Big Will, and this is The Breakdown. And this is just the beginning. Next time, we're going to dig deeper into that mindset. 5 things that I think everybody who's had to come back from trauma in any instance, war, famine, divorce, job loss, health scares, any person that's been able to stand back up and move forward, they lean on 5 things. And I think I've kind of figured those things out over these years. Hopefully you have some of these things. If you got 1 or 2, we're going to help you build the rest. So in the meantime, and in between time, as we say, we're going to get this thing together. You're not alone. Let's build this thing together. See you next time.
I said I'm ready for greatness. 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 I said I'm ready for greatness.